Bad gang. Welcome back. You know what time it is?
It's time to react. Back with another video, you guys. Another Jubilee banger, another Jubilee video for you guys. We recently did one with do all black people think the same? This one is do all white people think the same about race? So I don't know what to expect from this, honestly. Do you have any idea?
Prediction wise, I'm gonna say they don't all think the same
About race?
Yeah, because I've had several interactions where some white people think totally opposite of what a black person would think a white person would think like, or any other race actually.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna say for the most part, they're all like looking at this video, just the thumbnail. They all probably think the same. I'm just kidding. Maybe a different.
I think majority of them are raised to think the same way for sure.
Of course.
And then it's up to them to kind of figure that out as they grow up and make their own decisions.
That is true. All right. Without further ado, let's get to it. Click.
Halloween is just like a weird holiday to be dressing up as anybody else's culture.
You can say the same thing about any costume. Are you gonna tell a 6-year-old girl that she can't dress up like a pirate because she doesn't know the history of pirates? Like,
that's very different.
what?
Oh shoot, yeah, I see.
I feel like they're about to be very sassy too with each other. People who think they're woke always like, I don't know. Everybody thinks they're woke. You can just pause it if you want.
White people have culture.
Going in for the hard
Quick
questions early.
Quick
Going
pause.
in for the hard hitting questions
Yo,
early.
I don't think I should give my opinion on camera, but no, I'm just kidding. White people, Europeans, white people, they have culture.
Yeah.
Over there, Europeans, wherever they're from over there, yes. But American white people, I don't believe that they have much culture that's not either from there or like from, minorities here.
Yeah, American white people.
Yeah.
Have culture.
Their culture is like everybody else's culture or their home culture.
Yeah.
Which they don't probably celebrate or whatever because they consider themselves American rather than European Americans. I don't think they don't really celebrate like people. They don't be like, oh, I'm from Germany, I'm part German, I celebrate these holidays. They don't necessarily have culture here in America.
Yeah, they do not.
You know.
They don't do that unless your family and your heritage there.
Exactly.
And you know about it.
Exactly.
3,
That was a good question right off the bat, though.
1.
Tough.
We're all technically
Whoa.
white. If you're from England, if you're from Australia, if you're from wherever, South Africa, we all have these crazy places we come from and these people are around and we get those ideas from those people. But that doesn't mean us as a whole have no culture.
But as a white person, it's not really a culture. You can have culture like I'm hella Irish, obviously, and that's a culture. But just being white is not it's not a culture. I can't relate to you just because you're white.
I think you could say that for any ethnicity though. If we were all black, could I relate to you guys if just because of the color of our skin?
Yes, because they go through
certain
very similar
aspects.
experiences. Like they'll get discriminated against, and you're not getting discriminated against because of your skin color. They can both relate to that.
But I also
Yeah, you
feel
get to
like
choose.
with culture, we branch out, we try different things, we want to do different things. So maybe we've lost a little bit of our culture.
Maybe we're creating a new culture.
There you go.
I believe in reverse racism.
These are some really good questions, actually.
Yeah,
I love these questions.
2, 1.
What do you think? Or
I don't
we'll
know
wait
what
until
that
that.
We can explain it.
Okay, what is it?
I'll stay here then.
Before I decide.
Reverse racism is like someone being racist against you because you are white. Like, do you
fact that
believe
they
that
don't
someone
know.
can be racist against a white person?
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
I grew up where it was completely like Hispanic culture. I was constantly made fun of because I was white. Oh, white people can't dance. White people look stupid, whatever.
They shouldn't say white people can't dance, but
And then-
they can't dance.
No, yeah, I
They
can't
shouldn't
dance.
say it.
Just putting that out
At least
there.
you
But I
know.
mean, like, being
No, I'm just kidding.
honest though,
Some
like
white
they would
people
say
kill it.
those mean things to me and more hurtful things than that. It's like a hard pill to swallow because if I turned around and said, black people can't dance, I'd get hell for that. But then if someone says the same words to me, it's somehow okay. Because
You have to look at the difference of it though. And I relate to you. I grew up with all Latino or black friends. I had very few white friends. And yeah, I got made fun of for being like the white girl. I was gringa. And I didn't take offense to it because the huge part about racism is that there's hate and oppression behind it. And as a white person in America, I do not feel oppressed.
And I definitely
Outside
think
of
that we
that
should take the
little
log out of
incident
our own
in
eyes
our
before
environment.
worrying about the sawdust and other
I like her.
people's. Like, I totally agree with that, but there is sawdust, so that's kind of what I'm saying.
For me, I feel like anything we do can come out racist to any other type of race. But at the same time, if they say something mean or racist to us that we feel is racist, it kind of
supposed to
gets
be
brushed
okay.
off.
When I think of the word racism, I think more towards oppression, so that's why I'm in the disagree. Like, I'll deal with someone just being mean to me, but whatever.
That's really they some of them got some really good heads on their shoulder and
Yeah.
are woke, if you want to say that. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
definitely something they've talked about.
And I've been blessed to meet enough white people like that to
Yeah.
not completely look at them as the ignorant people that other races seem to think they are.
But yeah, what Shorty said, low-key, I could be on either side. I agree with both of them just because I agree that there is such a thing as reverse racism because like they explained, and we talked about this in college before in the Black Male Collegiate Society. If you're a white person in an environment, let's say you go to HBCU, in that environment, you can be oppressed. You can be, made fun of and held down in certain aspects. Obviously, in the great scheme of things in America, you're not oppressed. But in that certain social setting, you are. Therefore, you can consider that racism if you want to.
Or is that more is that bullying rather than racism?
Is racism? No, because racism is oppression. It's like systematic. So if the school wants to say, okay,
But you're saying in the confines of that
in that environment, that social setting.
So when a kid or anybody's in like school or whatever, and they're in the confines of that, are they being bullied or are they?
If like it was an all white school and a black kid was getting made fun of by white kids, it's called racism.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be called bullying because they're kids, but it's racism.
Okay.
So, and I agree with the people who say they don't agree because in the great scheme of things, you could literally just leave that school, and you could be okay. Versus black people, like, okay, my job is racist over here. I can find another job. Yeah, but how many jobs are you gonna find that's that has like zero tolerance for racism or that's not biased against minorities?
Yeah. Hopefully, we're moving more towards that, though.
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree. This is a good one so far. Focusing on race divides us.
I see we got the same couple people going
I
back and
think
forth.
it's important
Honestly.
to focus on race in order to bring us together. There is a race issue in America, and if we just avoid it altogether and pretend like it's not happening, nothing's going to change, in my opinion.
I kind of was thinking about the question differently because if all I'm thinking about when I meet someone is, oh, I'm white and she's not white and I'm white and she's not white, like that for me, that's like what focusing on race is.
Yeah, we're never gonna be happy unless we just like all work together, just to like treat each other like each other. Like there is no race.
Yeah, and that sounds great, but it's like we're not there. We're not there. I feel like people who have that perspective might also say like, oh, I don't see color, or try to have that attitude. I don't think that helps anybody. I think we need to respect each other's backgrounds.
I know I've been pausing a lot, but look, no, that's a good point. Have you heard like people who say I don't see color? Like some people find that very offensive because you're
kind of ignoring.
Yeah, you're saying that you don't even see the fact that there is, a discretion or discrepancy in being black in America versus being white.
I think that depends on the person who says that, and whether you'll be able to identify that by whether they actually know it's a problem or not. But I can see how someone would get that from that statement, but in its entirety, I know what they mean. Like,
I understand it.
Yeah,
like
understand
say,
it,
oh,
but
I don't see race. Like it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
But don't say that you don't see race because we'll never get away from it. Because there's certain things I know not to say certain things to a white person, whether it's 10 years ago or 10 years in the future. I know there's certain things I can't say to a white person, certain things I shouldn't say to a black person. So based on race, we all have, for the most part, we can relate because we're the same race. Therefore, 9 times out of 10, we operate in the same culture. So therefore, you know, if I'm ignoring race, I'm not focused on race, I can't come up to a white person acting how I'm acting with you because I understand that's not part of their race or culture. They're not going to be used to that.
Yeah.
So I think it's you could be on either side and I understand it. Does that make sense though?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
so
agree.
you definitely got to be cognizant of like, oh, you know, it's a black person. Oh, it's a white person. Obviously, you don't judge them. You don't
you don't
prejudge
judge
them
you don't-
for it. But you're aware that, hey, maybe they operate a little differently based on their race in this, you know, in this country.
And like that is only gonna happen if we do see color.
You
we
dropping
do,
jewels
like,
on y'all.
appreciate
I better
everybody's
pick up those
differences.
jewels. Pick up those jewels. And he just said the same thing. No more. You can pause it if you want to talk, because I can pause it every second. For real.
Yeah, I think cultural appropriation is very real. You see all the
Okay,
time,
that's
like
interesting.
Coachella.
Okay,
You know, we're in
agree with
LA,
that.
and you see people in the Native American headdresses without knowing how important that is to Native people.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a difference between respecting the culture and completely disrespecting the culture. But then also, if you want to dress up on Halloween like a geisha because you like the costume, you think it's a beautiful costume, that I wouldn't say is.
I wouldn't do that. I think if you're gonna go and dress up as a geisha without knowing the importance of it and just being like, well, this is cute, like I'm gonna put this on. And also, even if you did know the importance and you're like, I don't know, Halloween is just like a weird holiday to be dressing up as anybody else's culture.
You can say the same thing about any costume. Are you gonna tell a 6-year-old girl that she can't dress up like a pirate because she doesn't know the history of pirates? Like,
That's very different.
well, so it's just like.
That's very different. Those are children.
Of course.
I think it's a lot about
Those
intention.
are, I mean,
because I think
But what if
we're
a
not
children
doing
wanted
it
to
pirate in
dress up?
general
I
is
feel
different
like
from my geisha.
I would see that as that person mocking.
What if a child wanted
Even
to
if they
dress up
don't
as a geisha?
intentionally mean it,
Is it okay
it's
because they're a
still
child?
offensive.
What are you guys gonna say to this? No, I'm just kidding. Everybody better be. He moving kind of slow.
The only reason I'm at somewhat disagree is because a lot of my favorite rappers use it frequently. Like if I'm listening to my favorite Childish Gambino song, which drops it like 100 times,
Right. I know. So
you know that
in the car, it's like.
it's like I'm not sitting there thinking all these horrible things about black people, and I'm like, it's just in the
She hates-
song.
You see
and
her
when I'm
face.
singing,
She
it
was about
comes
to smack her.
There's like 2 different forms of the word. There ends with an ER and with an A. And like with my friends, they're like,
Like
oh, you can
this.
say it with an A, like that won't hurt my feelings.
That's what people told me.
But also, like, even when I'm in the car by myself, like, I still feel like it's not my place. Maybe I'll, like, whisper it, like, with an A at the end, you know, like, if I'm by myself. But, like, out of the respect for other people, I just think it's more appropriate not to say
That's
it at all.
tough.
Do you guys think rappers should stop putting it in their songs?
No.
I feel like if they're
No,
Why?
you can
If
just
you think
have
it's wrong,
self-control
though,
as an
why?
I don't
adult
think
and
it's
not say
wrong
it.
because the history of the
I'm not
N-word,
offend people. It's okay.
you
Believe
know,
me.
slave owners would call black people as the N-word with the hard R at the end. If black people want to take that word and claim it as their own and claim that painful history and like be like, F you, like I'm gonna claim this word, I think they should be allowed
And
to do
flip it.
that. I don't think as a white person I have that right to take a word that was derogatory towards them. They should 100% have the right to do that.
But do you think it's okay for a white person to sing the song?
See,
and
that's
say
where
that?
we're like all on the fence. It's like I feel like
It's a word used as my friend basically, and like just like she said, if they want to take that back from its horrible origins, then I'm totally fine with that. But as a white person, you can't say that word without feeling a certain way.
Yeah,
And so
but I have
that's
a
why
question.
I don't.
If they didn't put it in their songs, you wouldn't say it, right?
No, yeah, 100%.
So are they causing people to say that word more often? Because she wouldn't say it if
It's
it
not
wasn't.
white people's place to tell them what they can and cannot use. So.
I live a privileged life.
Do you let your friends say the N word?
Do I let my friends say it? It varies. Like for
Yeah.
a lot of people, it varies. So just consult your.
If you are white, you know, it does vary. So consult the people in that room before you say that word because it may offend, you know, some people and it may not offend some people. I don't, if we're close friends, you're white, you're Hispanic or whatever, I don't mind you saying it as long as you say it with confidence and you're not like, nigga, and you look around like, okay, I'm good. Like, if you're gonna say it with some confidence so I know that you actually are saying it because that's part of your everyday diction. Don't just try to say it, you know, to be cool or something like that to fit in, you know, when it's not your place. But if you say it, you know, just make sure you say it around the right people because some people are not okay with that. And some people are.
Yeah,
so.
You better ask somebody.
You better ask somebody. If you're from Waco, apparently you can say it. She's so slow. Oh, okay, I was drunk. I live a privileged life.
Oh, okay.
It's so sad to say because I never say it out loud, but it's the truth, is like getting pulled over by the police. I always feel like I have a little bit of a one-up because I'm white, because I'm a woman. And I feel so bad that that's the truth, but this is a real thing and it's unfortunate.
For me, as an individual, I feel like I'm not privileged. Sure, like white people background came from like being higher up on the scale, but I've gone through really hard things before. You know, I don't feel like I'm superior over other people. So as an individual, I don't feel like I'm privileged.
I think privileged, I guess I don't really think that I'm above other people. I just think that naturally I'm treated differently.
Yeah, it's like perception. It's just perceptions.
Yeah, I think that's a huge misconception.
have
I
more-
have privilege that I didn't ask for. It's just society sees me as like the standard for whatever reason,
said-
and because of that,
she's
I
trying
get
to walk
treated
over.
differently. And my
like they can
privilege,
change
you know,
their
like you
answer
said,
when
it's
other
not
people
about
Yeah.
what you've gone through or what you experience. It's 100% how the world
They're just taking
sees
away that the group perceived that question and they're saying, oh, okay, if we're thinking like that, then I'm over here.
3, 2, 1.
That's true.
Yeah. Can there be a middle?
Gotta pick a side. Pick a side.
I'm about to mess that thing up.
Don't hate me, guys.
I almost went there too. It's like
I think
so
like
hard.
guiltily, like I'm like happy that I'm not oppressed, but I'm not proud of like things people have done in the past.
When I think of being proud of something, I think of something I worked for, or that I had to do nothing to be white, absolutely nothing, and nothing was taken from me because I was white.
It's like saying I'm a proud white person
I
is a
understand it, though.
completely different
I just wanna play a little
saying than saying
devil's
I'm a
advocate,
proud
you
black
feel me?
person.
Person they've been oppressed, that a lot of their culture was stolen from them. And a lot of reasons that I don't like proud to be white is because it has the Nazis used it. The KKK used it. I don't want to be associated with any of those things, so I'm just gonna completely stay away from that.
Sure, I'm not proud of like what my culture's done, but at the same time, like I would not want to be anything else. If I had to choose another race, I don't know what I would be. I'm okay with where I am, even though I'm getting backlash about being white.
Never mind. Cut the video.
I was waiting on the food question.
Do you like Starbucks?
How many of you are vegan?
Mild sauce. You don't get your mouth. Hello. So, thank you guys again for watching another video, another Jubilee video with us. Go ahead and join Bad Gang. Go ahead and join Bad Gang. Become part of the fam. Stop playing and subscribe so you guys get notifications when we post next, right? Last 2 cents. I want to give you guys 2 cents. We've been dropping jewels for you guys all video, but I just want to say that I respect the people in this video that gave their honest opinion. They seem like they've definitely talked, and they're adults, so they should have had these conversations by now. That may make them a little uncomfortable. You know, I just want to make sure, or I just want to tell you guys to make sure to always put yourselves in situations that may make you uncomfortable. It's like working out your muscles or something. You're uncomfortable when you're working out, but that'll make you stronger. It'll make you better off in the end when you put yourself in uncomfortable situations and you learn to be comfortable and have those conversations with things that, you know, you don't necessarily have to.
Just keep on with an open mind, you know, meet as many people as you can. It's okay to disagree, but don't be disrespectful.
I'm like, okay, you said it too much.
nigga.
All right, thank you guys again for watching the video. We put in a lot of time in this video, so y'all go ahead, leave us a like, let us know how you guys like the video. All right, peace.